Hello, good evening, good morning. As time passes by, good night or good afternoon, good midnight time. Or perhaps you are on a late night party or just watching internet. Today is Sunday, more of a spiritual Sunday, and homage to God, the Sun, Dominus. July the 26th of 2026. Sometimes I'm just thinking of what part of the map I am talking about, what is the theme, the motion to put on, is to break through, because there's so much hatred that it's better to play the card of hatred so you can feel hatefulness, since nobody wants to do dynamic meditation to see their own hatred, your own repressed madness. Our own hidden, everything that we do that's hidden is evil. I have a YouTube channel, so I like to express myself whatever I have one viewer or more. So I bring it to the light. Some people can share the way they want, so at least on my behalf, I'm being open-minded and sharing. I'm open source. Also to hackers. All the realms are welcome. I don't find any speciality with any verse, but when you want to hide something and you're sharing a little secret you think to be special, to be all united, and that those are all stories of the underworld. So you see your consciousness, and you don't need to make levels. It's said that the right loves to have hierarchy and levels. The Conservative Party, that's why they love Dante's path. Something I read every year because of a character, but everything I read is just to get a little bit the pattern of that verse or character. So I don't read all the books that I have, but they're selected for verses and groups within verses in the multiverse. And God has created us as well with a multiplicity to expand our own self if we have the ability, the free will, the family to support us, and at the same time, the capability to learn and see the dangers ahead. So you should keep spiritual today. We should keep spiritual for me, is every day that spiritual. It used to be. every day, every afternoon, all day long. To live in a sanctuary of celebration, eternal victories, just sharing, supporting others, just doing humble work from day to day. People might think you have a lot of money or you have less, but you are there. There is justice. Justice exists. It's how we give each other the space to have that free will more than knowing everything to apply your own free will. Because we're all sharing the same freedom of expression, and we share the mechanisms of how we interact in the energy field we are. So when we are celebrative, it's very easy to be happy and celebrative and have all the abundance and joy and wealth to keep celebrating. And when something goes wrong and is tragic, that is where you see who is really who. You see another side of people. It won't matter if they gave everything to you. And you might ask yourself, why? Why do I want to move on and not pay tribute or loyalty for everything that was given to me? We can share love through the distance. Our paths separated because taking other choices. Some people get tired and say, well, what if I think about me now? So we question ourselves, what is loyalty? What is saying yes to everyone? So everybody knows what you're doing, but you say yes to everyone. Those are tricksters. So there's a lot of people that vote. There are people that vote because you have much investment. You must know a lot of people to invest on you. Also, from a political party, what do they all think? Because they all follow each other. So, when it comes to candidates, and these parties are so consumed with themselves and who's been there before, but people don't know them. Like, and at the same time, the people that watch TV, these are the people that go to vote. So now you have people in TikTok that go to vote. Now you have people that are very interested in politics and really believe that they're losing all their energy and time because they feel responsible. That their click, their comment is very important to make a change. So, are these people going to continue living on the last page of the Bible? The last pages? I was writing from the Jews, or was Jesus talking about this? I want you to sit in meditation. Pick 2, 3 villages in the world to think where would you like to make your sanctuary and help those in need to make a mansion into a village. Probably all of you would like to go for the presidency and help each other to take all the money from the treasury and have all these connections to make money and pocket yourself. Like, look at all these people that I have helped. When you get there, like my father would say, you will sit down in the chair of the devil because you have to supply back to all those investors that supported on you and their political party. It is true that the media has the power to dictate who is going to be the next president. I was born with my father watching him and my mother admiring him, also questioning all my life, why is my mother with my father? Because he was not the provider. My mother was the provider. But my mother had a love that for her was worthy or than a millionaire or a provider because she could provide herself. And most of all, the father of her children could provide for society. And they always thought what people needed, as they also need. And others were always involved beyond oneself as a part of a conversation. My mother thought that for people to have more awareness is the highest investment to have a conscious society. So she worked investing for therapists and for people to practice meditation, just to sit in silence, or some techniques just to see how your nerve system carries different patterns of emotional trait systems. So techniques. But still, we can have also the material world and the spiritual world, that movement through matter, as the priest, an exorcist, has experienced and worked all his life. That spirituality, that movement through matter. Some people lose all their followers, they had friends, and suddenly they don't have followers like before. So I also question myself, you know, like, what would I be picked on? Since I don't have followers, really, who cares, right? Why should I care? In my conscience, I think that I have not hurt anyone. As an adult, you are free to walk off. I have to think through a lot of bullshit and see a lot to analyze. So if you're an adult, say, I'm sorry, look, I have to go through a lot of hatefulness to pick an answer because rage makes your mind smarter if you're brainstorming. to get answers. But I'm a crazy genius, right? You might be also, and I like to hear. But you might be talking to the public domain, yeah, or just saying hello. On this theme, just be aware that there is another new chief in town. There are too many chiefs in this tribe, and you are like all of them. You gotta trust there are people above that are tired of this bullshit as well as you do, and as I am. Get together. If you need a week to have a spiritual retreat, go far away from the public domain. Prayers, catharsis, heavy metal sports, relax, stretch, be in silence, and also dance and sing out of joy in that sequence. Create your own if you must, but bring celebration at the end with kindness to maintain that celebrative unpenetrable is unpenetrable because you have so much love within that celebration and gratefulness to be whom you are, with whom you are, and getting to create an energy field with those that are with you as you are with them. I will be here because it's very important for our mental health as well. Of course, I would love to do many things, but this is an inner journey. uh, Getting to be a bit more clear away and pragmatic towards the direction of your affairs. You might have statistics from different groups of people, from different entities or layers. You might see it as you must. So the people in X are one type of people. There might be hope because the left is also being supported with a lot of money. But the left needs to be reshaped to what the left used to be because the right also cares for the people and has humanity in a different way. And the left also needs healing because it's been giving a narrative that is full of hatred. But these people are being paid from very rich people behind the scenes. So you want these people to pay you. And one of you might have to go to the left And you talk with these people that are going to invest on you. It's not a question of left or right. Today I was watching a gay couple walking and another gay couple buying in the store. And I'm very proud to be in a country where people are free. I wish all the people that wish to live their lives without judgment to love freely as adults. Now, there is a deep distortion because what people do for money, especially these people in Hollywood and California, and many teenagers who are abused in many ways. Many teenagers, girls watching how their mothers are abused from one boyfriend to the other, and they don't have a friend or a rightful partner. Because the United States is very sexual. Get tired, you just move on to the next. And that's your freedom. But children resent this, especially girls. They want to participate with this kind of partnerships where it hurts them very deeply to feel the pain of the mother every time they break with the boyfriend. Some mothers are alone for 7 years or 10 years and they take a break to consider what is it they want to do, who they are. It's a part of a spiritual approach to work and dedicate your life to your children. And you have another form of love where you rekindle. Now, the prostitutes are more honest than many people out there. Because a prostitute, you know what you get, you know what you pay. They won't betray you or threaten all your life or ruin your life. I want you to know that you're all different. You do need support. Takes many relationships and to be known and to be promoted. And it's easier if you pick one or two for the left and the right. But there are different narratives. And I would have wished that everybody's just working together for their country with common sense. Unfortunately, those who will seek will find. So you cannot give too much to people that are not seekers. They don't have values to appreciate when you give everything to find the truth. But this is a spiritual truth, not the truth you find in Google search or talking with artificial intelligence, as with any fake friend you have that's for interest. Because people are now diving to see if they will get support for some party, political party, and if they do have the charisma of the people. So Tucker Carlson is more aware of this than all of you. When I see him, I know that for him it's easier supporting others because he does have the strings. But the understanding is automatic. And he might not be very sure. You need to have testosterone to become more self, or to have a lot of support from everyone, which is loyalty. Sean is very charismatic and handsome, but does not have the language and systematic intelligence that's operating with the outside world from the political sphere, which is different than when you are from the inside as an operative with your friend dude. So there are many people that will like him as a normal person. That's cool. But for a political level, you gotta practice many decades or from birth to have understand everything from within. So the right does not like women, to be honest. You gotta make statistics. This is not about changing people's mentality. This is working with the reality. I like all the influencers that I watch, and I can understand it's very difficult. I love Camden Zones, even though it's sometimes boring and tedious and annoying, but people like to watch that a lot. And it makes you feel rightful to feel so much hatefulness for a reason. So you have to understand that not everybody is here for war. Not every Jew is the same. It's very important to understand how you're using these words to a collective. So, for example, if Jordan Peterson will just cite one part of the narrative without thinking all the people that are going to backlash against, is in the middle of starting a war. So it's very difficult to talk on behalf of anyone that's been fighting for 2,000 years or more, since the War of Troy. So to have studied the history of Europe and all the fights that were taken against the Moros, against the people that were from the other side of Europe, right? And more concentrated in the Middle East on Israel, because they both share the delirium that is the promised land, right? So Arabs too are identical twins when it comes to delirium, to the promised land, that which is means Palestine is for the Jews to be the chosen ones. We Christians also have Jesus to return. We have understood that the promised land is within us. So we kept expanding and moving throughout the world to share that feeling, state of mind as heaven in paradise. So this is a beautiful movement to feel within and let it sit. For political parties as well, where most of the people in the world do not want wars, want to map all the countries in the world that are being peaceful, to help bring consciousness and values as a preparation. Uh, Many people that are starting to be very nationalistic, and they're already starting to think that they can go and run for president because they have all these millions of people watching them as influencers. You know? So you gotta pick yourself and see each other at least every 6 months. Even if you're fighting online, you all know you'll support one. So you can fight back and forth. I'm showing you tactics from roleplay, from flame, from silly characters through 20 years on narrative to make it fun, to make it, uh, think around it and allow people to create their own life as well. Instead of being so selfish to just talk about your drama. Now, you have investigations that are being run, and that's a very different theme, where sometimes Candace owns changes her characteristic. She's not talking as an investigational journalist. She's talking like the bitch in class who's popular. And starts fighting with another woman. So it changes the tone, it changes the character. Naming these names is not of a very political and respectful form to attack your enemy, or in a court case, or as a congressman and a woman. So I don't know, maybe she wants to be like Oprah making interviews all her life to help people think about their own. But you can only change that from within. All right. So it is good to introspect if you want to be doing this. Until when are people going to support you? Because they still have one foot in government. All right. As Sean Ryan said, I only tell 10% of what I know from government because they need their alliances. And that's what my father would say as well. Their source of information I cannot betray. Even though he knows they are also corrupted. So you grow up watching a father that you think is so noble and truthful. It takes 50 years to understand from the maturity of another mind how delicate it is and how much protection you really need and coverage. Because hierarchy is very strong. They work together. You can use it on your behalf, but making it clear. But they will pay you for this, to do this and that. Like Trump is giving his soul for oil. And he will keep trumping for oil until he dies. He's an old man who's got a lot of money for that. I would take him to a court case to see if he's taking that amount of money, and also Elon Musk has given this amount of money. Because he said, oh, he knew I was supporting for oil, but why did you take his money then? Because after Trump won, because Elon Musk can be so blind to believe that he's the only one giving so much money. He's not telling him, I'm getting money from this other trick. They learn from prostitutes to act like prostitutes. I can tell you myself, I had to take a lot of people from prostitution from both sides. It's been very interesting to go deep into the lowest rings to free people with reverse psychology. And from drug addiction as well. With no one paying me for that, right? I made my own mission with my own intelligence. And you have your own intelligence as well. And the best gift is to allow people to be intelligent as well. Allow people decide as well for you. Question yourselves also. And people have their followers, We don't watch TV, but there are many people that watch TV and will watch the news from their channels. But the deception that Donald Trump has brought, I hear it from the Americans that come here holiday. It was not like the one before voting for him. the way he's been treating politicians from around the world, other countries. They feel ashamed that this is their president. Um, I said, well, but he runs the show. Well, but he did good for the kids, so they are not castrated with false stories. Because you just need to love yourself. I've played hundreds of characters in person and laughed through these characters, and they come back to myself. Maybe I end up vomiting because I'm not really into women. But at that moment, the character within the intelligence of a man, that's that type of character, and each character is unique. Love that lady. Now, as playing characters as Mel, I would have really wished to have a female character that does not bully my friends or does not use sex to have friends. Uh, I like to have a woman that was respectful when, like, if my character was talking with her, knowing that perhaps this character has a world of his own when he comes home. I would have wished her to understand him in the same dimension without selfishness and drama. God knows I hate drama. I play with drama. It's an expression of what I see out there. It's like Uranus breaking through. You will wish to be a good president for everyone, but you're now in a war for oil and against the countries of the world. When we were helping you to create the tariff into universal coin, yeah, to help countries from around the world. So the countries that are mass producers need more human rights. We need to have this clear as the President Meloni from Italy, Sanchez from Spain, and the regions from Greece to detect all the words from the dictionary that are being misused in the translation to English from every platform and AG in dictionary, the meaning for a prosecution to these companies who not only stole the information, the words, but also are misusing it. So this is going to help to get the partition for each nation. You're not going to get money for free unless you fight for it, making the regulations. And I'm going to make many versions and study law and clauses. Make this website, Tech Globe Atlas. Got a new computer screen just to do that. And focus. Hello. So I would love to concentrate better and go to walk in the morning. Uh, Concentrate better. So perhaps I will give this website and to help for taxes and universal coin locally, nationally, continentally, and worldly. For example, the European community wants to do uh, for Europe. Spain has lost a lot of value by having the highest degree of Spanish people working in the north of Europe while having people from South America and Africa. So Spain needs its people to return to Spain to have jobs that are to delegate and promote Spain to help also South America, to give them money to return. These are values that many people don't care because they just take care of their relations to keep in their position of power. To misvalue the Spanish people. The Spanish people are. So you have reggaeton and a lot of rubbish in the streets when it did not before. You only care about yourselves and to be known for your position. And there's no real hierarchy that cares for its kingdom. They just care for funcionarios, relations for themselves, to invest in more industry, to have many people working like slaves with half salary, their children having hunger in Spain because the social system is so corrupted. The people are hurting. To raise their children. And this happens with your psychology as well. When you're a president of the United States, so you have people that would like to run for 4 years and take all the money they can. They will want to corrupt, get more years, and think they can control someone that's going to take the presidency, but they won't have the votes because they have betrayed everyone who supported them. And this is why new presidents are elected. So you gotta watch right now. How can you take Donald Trump to court and his family? Because you have corrupted people in LA as well. You gotta summarize the good people that are in the office of Trump, but they are still silent, and there will be silence because they're doing their job. They will be sacked as well for allowing other thieves to do what they're doing, even though they have good intentions to do their job, work night and day, like Kennedy. What is he gonna do? Junior Kennedy. You become codependent. There was a manager that came to my job and she removed this this very that was hung up with the cashier. But we work in the front of Windsor Castle and she took it off. She thought she was higher than the king in Windsor and took it off without asking anyone, without thinking of the consequences. Of course, you don't want a national war, and you don't care about the world, of course. You might get money from tech titans to do what they say because they gave you money. So it's national because there is another chief in town. And to learn everything from Tucker Carlson, is not really understanding what's happening right now in history. Because these are pipelines of hundreds of 300 people, 360, let's say, international companies. Let's put it that way. So they are all invest in their pipeline. You also have a new generation of younger people from this old money. In United Kingdom, they're clearing up. They're clearing up all those rings. So I might just disconnect from United States and let you do as you may. Because supporting United States these last 6 years, are you of my life when I can be with my children and you really get to see the influencers are like all these corrupted people as well. They don't care. I'm not a person that's coming here to project. So you think what I want you to think. But look at the reality. So why should I invest? I can do this website and just promote it and sell it in the real world and go away from the themes of people that want to become president and people that allow corruption at the same time or might be willing to stab each other at the end, but to have very clear what they're supporting if it's a universal law. So if you are fighting to make a group to support both parties of one, and get to see your leader, to be aware, and have a happy journey. Like Elon Musk said, well, he said, well, it's just about the journey. Many people have said that before, of course, like in the way of the Tao. But be sincere with yourselves. Nick Fuentes could be a president in 30 years when he refines the way he speaks. Now he's just talking like a rebellious teenager. He's very smart. I would make him president before all of you because he's very smart, and you will listen to him if you would want to become something better than whom you are, what you're talking about. But as me, I talk a lot of bullshit to make something brilliant because you're working with problems for solutions. Now, to execute a solution, you need to become a machine yourselves as a team. And that's what you procure in a group, not a verse, in a group that is part of a verse. So I would vote for Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. I like Sean very much. I don't see him like a president. I see him like a very likable person. I just think he likes to talk for what people like to hear. And he knows his narrative very well. And he will make also awesome president. Uh, with support, you can always refine your direction. What matters is that you're together having fun, that you are all respected with each other, even though in the public domain you might change narrative because you're going free speech and going around with whatever is your theme that you pick. So being honest is very beautiful, and not knowing as well, not being so pretentious. Um, it's very difficult to heal for all those people that are being indoctrinated in the woke culture that will push the agenda of pedophilia behind through some decades of investments that's still alive, pending behind the scenes for kids to change their sexes. They're pushing slowly that agenda in Europe as well. And if you have mails from government and all information that's going through the high courts, government courts, you'll get to know what's going on in your country, really. In UK, any person can have emails from these courts. I don't know in United States. So you might follow one theme, but at the same time, it's good to check within Are you being really a good person? Are you being an abusive person to suck the energy from this woman and collaborate so she's with her children? Are you as abusive and corruptive and worthy to believe that you're better as Trump is? Everything you hate from the other is whom you really are, deep down. Maybe from wars, suppressions. Because you think to be worthy to have a husband or a wife. Or because you started your channel. Or because you started tweeting. Or you all make these connections. You're all the same. You're made of the same flesh. What are you willing to do? So sometimes I think, I'd rather support Trump because if you're all the same, he's in power right now. Why should I support you? Trump could make a peace deal, perhaps. So he might bring a universal coin before you do. Yeah. So why should I listen to all this drama and bickering? He might recant because it's his best option, even though he's been trying to betray all the time, all along, with the help of Bill Gates. But you will think to be the best in the world because you have these tech titans. But so you are solidified by believing you are the best in the world as Americans. I know every character trait of yours as you speak throughout these years. What makes you be whom you are and have the followers you have because you tell them what they like to hear as well. You want to do good? The highest sacrifice is to sacrifice yourself for the benefit of the world. But it's easier to talk about Jesus, right? Talk with the priest, like if you go to church all those days, because it will help you to keep on for your mission of power, which God is the highest source of power of all. So this has never happened before, that the leaders of the world can come together to create something beautiful. And influencers, people of power. So there are many powers along, but to get voted is the media. How people like you. Elon Musk is liked by many people. Also, those who invest on him. They would rather listen to him in behalf of all the tech titans because the other ones don't have the charisma that he has when he speaks. So he's voted from both sides. And the tech titans know that. So Bill Gates will try to move the strings from behind the scenes, from all the negotiations he was giving all these decades before Epstein. Before. But you are like him as well. You would do the same. You've been doing the same thing all these years as well. To have power, to have connections. You become Christian or Catholic. You can become Anglican as well, Orthodox. I go to all the churches, evangelist. I sing with the Arab songs that are prayers as well. Try to understand why they are in pain, why they're killing their people. That's the people of God as well. They're also people. So this is what I'm going to invest now. My manager is taking out thanks to the headquarters and the people who have got the evidence to sack her. They could put her to jail so she doesn't hurt anyone ever again. But I gave my gratitude to the good people that I work every day with to keep going to work. Even though the poison would sometimes go around us, we would try to keep north and keep positive and thank the world. It's coming to do some exercise with our inner humanity and values that people put meaning as gifts to one another and sometimes to themselves. There are always good people that come to see Windsor. I would wish there are only students or influencers that go to certain places around the world and they're picked from other influencers. So they learn higher management tasks to delegate and understand what is to filter information to make a better world. So I love royalty, alright? I went to the school of the Prince of Spain, and sometimes I hate them as well because they're not good enough for the people in the kingdom. You have to be a spy listening to a mother's call to understand how all these organizations are so corrupted that they do not help really anyone but mistreat people in the phone, in the emails. Email me in 3 months. Like this on and on, on and on. I pray for the day all these organizations have been wiped off from the earth of the government And there are new architectures where mothers can work with their kids, taking care of their kids, working and taking care of themselves together without having to send them to a kindergarten, which should be illegal because children are abandoned and they should be with their mother until age 7. But you can work half of the day when kids are sleeping or kids are, and come back and forth. And there are types of jobs that you can do that together to figure out different forms. Because man need a lot of healing as well. Man have to study their own testosterone. Sometimes it goes all in the head. Tucker Carlson knows how to keep perspective. But he's navigating to be supported by government himself. The right party he has supported all his life. It is good that you all sit together, invite each other, hold your hands in silence, do exercise, take your rage out in the body, feel your anger, your rage, the rage in the public domain, and try to convert it with prayer. Try to convert it beyond the mind as well. Be more perceptive. And I really wish you the best. But as you are, the whole American society is thinking is superior to kill others, to carry a gun, to hate others for whatever reason. And the world is very beautiful. Most of the world is not carrying guns. And people are very loving and beautiful, and they don't carry these fears that have been scandal after scandal, where the vulnerable suffer and are being manipulated through the CIA with YouTube videos. Another thing to note, if you are investigating these YouTube videos, because I wish they remove them right now, and hurting the vulnerable with the hatred they create, with the tax money of the people that should be for the people and the people of the world, because you have more to give to the world from what you took from the world. And you will have scientists that also belong to a universal transit, not just in US. You will love to see the world together as well, respecting what is for United States and their own monies. But right now is chaos ruling, hurting the people within and without, until the strongest can survive. It's an all brutish form of being. I want to thank my fellow role players. I love them more than anyone. I wish my children to be role players so a better quality of influencers exists tomorrow that is more forthgiving to be on another person's shoes understand the place of redemption and conversion to convert sinners into good people, paying good deeds. Because it's the only way up. And this is through joy and trust and melody. You see it in how much you manipulate through sorrow, decadence, and that's the most manipulative emotion, frustration. So you're moving on that mode. And in reality, heaven on earth, it's been always here now. So peace, enjoy the day, and I will continue with Burnham for the mapping. So I will see you one day, and we will see this work as something to be honored from the press, from the people, from those working in government, from free expression, from the teenagers. And it is difficult to understand that if you pay 0.5% of taxes or 40%, you're going to have in UK 30% deduction or 20% deduction because you're paying it to organizations. So what happens to the people that pay tax directly to government because they work as employees? This can work wonderful when everybody is in synchronicity working together. So there is a percentage for universal coin. Well, I have to puzzle different colors together, different meanings, because it doesn't add up to the equation. For me, it was from virtual reality to the influencers who are mediating around the world with the universal coin from 6-7 years ago. I was writing like that because influencers need to role play and understand what is passing values from different perspectives, understanding what's universal consciousness and what is the individual that's from the left, from the right, from a mother, from a woman, from a black person, from a person that likes freedom as an adult or likes to be loyal or his life, and to accept the human consciousness is allowing people as well to live their lives without you, because this is about people doing their job, not you doing it for them. So at the end, you're not gonna get so much money really if you allow people to meet their ends. All right. You might make something more, and that's the configuration. Those who have more will always have more. They are the ones who invest on you. So if one become president, he will forget all the people that invested on them, unless you make a contract. But Trump never promised anything to anyone. He said, yes, I'll give you a job or anything to everyone. So everyone supports him. What you do? But Trump used the narrative of the influencers. He used it because it was his only chance. But what I thought was the president should take that narrative to end with the child pornography, with pedophilia, and the agenda of changing the sex of children, because talking about sex to children will be the easy way to introduce pedophilia as people that love children naturally and should be accepted. That was target number one, even though my father said that pedophilia can be healed later on, because what is more important right now, what he studied all his life as a journalist, politics, that the most important cause from all the causes is to save the earth from global warming and deforestation, the waters and the seas from the animals. Because when we lose that, we lose everything. We lose our capacity to be in this world. And there won't be any room to heal anything later. For those in Europe that are living the heat that they have never lived before, they know it's a reality because they're living it in their skin. All these people that Jordan Peterson were bickering against, global warming, this person, I went to see Jordan Peterson, but he invited people that I didn't like. So this guy that talks against I don't think he's from Denmark or somewhere around, talking against nature, being very hateful towards the elite for that. They're not aware. They just want to win a narrative, to become popular. Oh, it's only a little bit that we're burning in Canada, South America. So we need a lot of people thinking to consume with different products around the world at the same time as well. I have more trust in the teenagers than in all of you, even though you think to be doing good. The more I watch, it's just consuming my life, like any TV channel. I don't think anyone understands the capacity they have without me. As my words are gold. You don't listen to my words. And you make mistakes because you think that all these people listening to you is more important. All this drama. You're never gonna make it from talking on a YouTube channel. You can get evidence from videos. I told you how to make these videos and film it film your screen. You will need a lot of memory to keep all these records of how your algorithm is changing when you pick videos for the chosen one. And start picking hatefulness towards any degree. Like, for example, to target Donald Trump from the left for any reason, being black, gay, Spanish, any reason that might be. You can be white as well, but white trash, hating, just for any reason. It has to be a profile that's for a teenager or a young person because the hormones are going crazy. They will check the. So you can take your nephews or someone's, and it will soon happen. They will go after you with that avatar that maybe belong to your nephew, but you are using all his profiles to go on a mass shooting, record everything. They might stop doing it right now, but at least you save a lot of innocent people. And scandals that only promote Trump. That's the way of the right. What the right does, the left follows. You can only talk to the young generation of the Jews or other solutions, and the young generation of those who invest in oil to map the world as the last country on earth that has great energy. It's people of United States and guns. So let's say that I want my money, my children. I'm not here anything for you're not any special to me. My children are very special to me. Innocent people around the world are very special to me. If I am born again, I would love to be born in a better world. Only God knows I didn't want to be born. You have to be very aware to know that you're coming for darkness, through darkness, by knowing darkness, because you know what is paradise. So people are aware of their darkness and do not allow any form and type of abuse. I was dignified to listen to my co-workers that it was good for them to stand up. It was very good lesson to stand up from the abuse of this manager who was harassing every day and stealing. It was 1 year and a half. In my personal life, a job that should be simple, a job that should be to not think too much, because I have other things that are brainstorming, which I like, is to compose a chapter, And I take 7 hours or 14 hours just to write one page with music and select the visuals and study the role players to bring it together. But that's my game, my private life. That is my love, my life. And my children to enjoy life. So this new computer for me, beside having 4 screens or 7, is just to do this website. And I will ask please to not share it with United States unless they're paying. Because everything they do, they just take it for granted. Like if there is another chief in town, ungrateful. They think to be all worthy because they go to church and pray to God suddenly because they're more evil people. They don't appreciate everyone that's trying to do a better world as well. Having all the patience in the world is not masochism. So straighten yourself up and do not follow the revelations anymore. Respect that chapter and create yours. That is not a game. If you follow that chapter, it will continue throughout many eternities, becoming more difficult for humanity to destroy that chapter. Because it's how the devil feeds itself from side to side. And you will die without having any Jesus or Messiah coming. They might fabricate one for you as well, with high priestess or any of their to abuse women. As they have done in the past, you have not studied that part of history throughout the Bible, the Old Testament, and the Templars, where they all abuse one woman to have one child, so she has paranormal activity to talk from the beyond, because they fucked her for 14 8 hours, all of them. And they treat her like a high priestess, and they do what they say she says. They have high priestess too, with the man who raped children, because she was raped through all her life as well. And there is many characters of women being mistreated. They also call Sophia, and they won't pay her. They will make her believe that she will get married. It's her only way. They will judge her like if she's Lilith. Yeah, imagine you study science, you study technology, you're studying role play, you study script writing, your father had a school of cinema. You're still married. You've been alone 10 years. And you're like, excuse me, like, you're role playing or you're afraid of what people might say because everyone is hacking now. So you have to see throughout the past lives that continue to persecute innocent people to fight against the apocalypse. You're not the only one. You think to be so special. Huh? You're giving energy to the devil. The devil will invest in you. And at the end, you will end up dancing to the devil. So they can only be cut through with the younger generation. Alright? If I have to remove Charles as my king for a new generation, you will see if he will support a new generation and betray everything he has silenced through all his life to be king one day with his queen Camilla. Or there will be a new reign because he might not support that. He might support the people that he knows from his generation and older. But there is a new generation that's very strong and young. So this is up to people's consciousness by listening to the collective. I have a sister, I know everything she's done. I'm not gonna talk about her private life, and I know that it's been unfair for her. I have done everything for her to follow the correct path. And she did. But that was because I was not there. You tell me if it's done because of the media or because you really care about your sister or brother. Well, things are going on and you're there. It's difficult when you're so codependent. United Kingdom is clearing away all these rings. Also, so they don't do it again because anyone can put cameras, all right? And United Kingdom doesn't kill its people to have coverage or have compassion. They might pretend to, just be happy, but they want their people to be happy. And that's why they smile. Each country has their own culture and their own likes. Sometimes you have king that listen to its people. Warriors that come from overseas, telling them from the horrors. But some fathers suppress their children, even from having the laws of virtual reality, having role play all their life. Okay? I will say this only once, as I did now. They have a lot of powers. This is only one more. They have a lot of relations. But get to know your generation better. You can't copy it. You can make your video games and copy everything that's been given. But you cannot copy it all. So it works. And with that is the rest of the world. They have premeditated the tech titans to launch artificial intelligence, and the people will copy it, but they will move ahead. So they are not going to give you any regulations. They will want it for themselves, and they're not going to regulate it to dismantle everything they do. They have done. Because these regulations that are being created, the universal laws for internet, websites, cookies, for the cake to cut, would reveal everything they've done and do and want to continue to do. So they're all together in that. They want to do something good for the world. Yeah, so you keep the narrative waiting. Because it's easier than doing the job yourself. So this is why I have taken the decision and the priority to move with what it is. They will have to pay more if they lose the percentage of the people from around the world, because they've been sucking everything without giving anything in return, including their influencers. All right. So that is very good for me to set myself these next 5 months to continue with my work. Do you have your time to talk about what you like and see what is the meaning of your life? What is the meaning of people? To be vibrating with this frustration and scandal without solutions, because I'm giving you the solution, all the solutions. You follow what you think is going to work within your capacity, but without giving back, you're doomed, because you will treat each other in the same way and stab each other and abandon each other for the best investor. Because what you've done to me, you're capable of doing to each other in the long run. So think about it clearly and thoughtfully. Who was guiding you to believe in yourselves? Who was there behind fighting for freedom of expression? The people's reason does matter. while you were paranoid. You have to convince everyone and follow the line to make yours. That's working with reality. What is this reality that you are? That's your consciousness right now. So I might get to know the influencer from Africa as well, as I'm meeting somebody from Africa to catalyze other influencers. It can be for each culture as well, because Africa has many cultures as well. And there's a lot of work from the Middle East, their influencers, with their freedom of expression. I like to see what Lex Fridman is doing in the world as he experiences away from United States. But I don't know how he's traveling or what he's doing, just going back home, and it's got to be sometimes saying what is that your audience wants from you. I don't think it's a dream. I think it's possible that your followers could one day have a credit to have their mansion into a village, because you can provide for them. Um, Many people are learning to express themselves by just making copies of just short movements without deep thinking and composition. So, as the younger generation gets to grow up, it's nice they celebrate life for these next 10 years. They might just get used to administrating and understanding what is mapping. They might come to a higher number of contribution and flowing that is more interesting on being active and activating than watching other people's content or creating content that is unworthy to watch for their generation, of course, because they're moving on another level. So, I might just think, let them destroy themselves because they don't give anything to me, and see them bitch and moan like if they're so special, and just focus my energy with something that's worth it for me. That's my children and the work that I have already concluded to prioritize, because these people are just following the old script of what they think to be. And you might think you're younger than Trump, but you're thinking the same way the old people do with the pages of the apocalypse. New demons are formed as they start to manipulate power because they don't know. That's why ignorance is known as the unconsciousness of evil, that which is suppressed, of course, and hidden. So You have to become evil to understand evil. And pause there and become a witness. You have to transform yourself and others at the same time with their pain better, so they stop all this right now, which is my interest, of course, not for you to become president. That is something your intelligence, your decisions, your free will can create as one. But there is no new chief in town. You have many people fighting for that position. And when you get that position, they will keep fighting against you. So you gotta know very well whom do you honor and who do you betray every day. So yeah, if you betray a mother that's working every day without paying her, be sure you are ready to betray each other and keep fighting. Bye.